kicks at? Where them hands? Where them holes? Where them throws? You know what I'm saying?
When people used to tell me that Taekwondo had no ground game and that there was no ground fighting at all in Taekwondo, right? I used to always argue with them because I took what I was told was Taekwondo and I was taught to do techniques from the ground. Ground grappling, no. That's what I thought they meant by ground fighting, just the ground grappling. Because I was taught any technique you can do standing up, you should be able to do sitting down, you should be able to do laying down. And I did find over the years some books that had some things where they had Taekwondo throws. I think there might even be a book out there called Taekwondo throws. But if you look at the image that I have captured here, which I should be able to use by fair use, this image is from the Hapkido manual that I still haven't finished reading. I'm almost done, but the thing's over like 1,000 pages. So in case you're having trouble seeing the actual image, let me read it to you. Sorry to be boring, but it says important points. A hallmark of Hapkido is its use of kicks from any position. In ground fighting, very few grapplers will be expecting this type of counter to a reclining armbar. If your kicks connect solidly, you can easily knock them out. At the very least, you will loosen or release the armbar, permitting an escape. The initial position of your hip is very important, since this affects your distance and power. These kicks can also be repeated as needed. So when I was taking the style that one of my instructors invented, his own thing, Tiger Hawk Karate, we had the rule of once you fell down, you can just start kicking full contact. All this is to say that I think that the style I've been trying to recreate, which Cecil Ryu martial arts is, in a sense, and there was always like, I think I thought of it, I would call it to myself in my head like a meta style. It's like a meta or overreaching way of martial arts. I mean, I know they all connect, but if there's a style that tends to connect them all, it's Hapkido. This proves my hunch again to me that over the years, I think people have been feeding me Hapkido while they were showing me whatever it is that I wanted to study. So that when I finally got awarded that Hapkido rank, I was like, why did he award me a Hapkido rank? And I got the manual and I looked, it's like, oh, because it's like this all the stuff that I've studied and I thought that I was finding and recreating. It's right here. It was right here in Hapkido the whole time. And that's why one of my instructors, the guy that awarded me my Shodan, why his Shodan curriculum was identical to Grandmaster Art Mason's Shodan curriculum, one's Taekwondo and one's Hapkido, is because Mr. Shorts was studying with the Hapkido Grandmaster at one point. So, there you go. But I'm still saying, and I tell my students this, I'm still saying your rank is Taekwondo unless I tell you otherwise. Because when people hear Taekwondo, they make assumptions. They don't think you know how to punch. They think that if you're grabbed, you're done for. They're going to be constantly looking at your feet and expecting you to kick them because you say Taekwondo. When all I really want from myself and from my students, because I think it's fun, quite frankly, is to be universal. One of my relatives, and he was my instructor for a brief time too. He created the Universal Karate Studio, Universal Martial Arts. He just called his method universal, and I like that. I like that idea of being well-rounded. I like that idea of being universal. And I know it's difficult, and it's going to be hard to try to play all these different things at a professional level or high level. I don't think you can necessarily do that. But I always wanted to be the type of martial artist where I could go into a karate studio and be able to play with them and have fun. Or then I could go into a judo studio and be able to play with them and have fun. If I wanted to, I could step into a boxing ring and be able to play with them and have fun. Just be able to learn and express from different people. I also think that's the good way to go for civilians. Because unless you're going to go out and get in like real fights or, sketchy leagues and things like that, in order to get that memory so that your skills hone in there, or you're going to find a way to get some like heavy contact on your own, or you're going to push yourself to be a professional fighter. If you've never been in a real fight before, I think the best approach for you is to try complementary combat sports. Make no mistake though, because I learned this the hard way. Just because you have been in some real fights or you've even done some full contact fighting, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're on a high skill. That's why it's still important to come back and do the classical thing. So, you can kick from anywhere. That was my original point of the video. Whether you think it's in Taekwondo or not, don't assume that if you knock a Taekwondoan down that they're not going to side kick you in the face. Because, and that's another thing. Kicks from the ground. There is a kick from the ground in one of the upper level Taekwondo forms. I actually used that movement to help me out in a real fight too. I didn't do the kick though, because I didn't want to really hurt the person. But I mean, yeah, it's there. What form is that in? The side kick is in the form Chunjang. That's some ground fighting. It looks like you're just going to kick and slide up and punch. I just modified those movements when I had to in a quote-unquote real fight, and it worked. So, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this with people who like to talk about the martial arts. Please donate to my martial arts efforts and survival at $Cecil Ryu at Cash App. Peace, and as always, thank you for your time. And one thing, if you're interested in online mentoring, contact me. If you're interested in taking online classes, contact me. If you're interested in online classes, online mentoring, that won't be free, but it won't be a large fee. But just contact me. Peace, and thank you.